Okay, sorry for the hiatus. Life. Let's talk 4 questions for those people that want to decondition yourself. As I started to study human beings and the way they live their life, especially as a student now, I've come to understand that there are certain patterns within the way we operate and the way we actually interact with each other. Think of it this way. You know that every single setting, every single thing that we do, it is usually done with others. And this is how we operate. This is how we influence each other. So the question is, how do we operate? How do we really know what works for us and what works for others? Because let's be honest, every single person is a completely different human being. It is a completely different ecosystem. Only getting to know oneself in this ecosystem can we actually begin to enjoy our life and live it without friction. By the way, my name is Jacob. I am teaching students how to live more holistically, as well as how to decondition yourself from the environment that we've been subjected to so far. If you'd be interested in, transforming your life into something much more potent and much more better, click the link down in the description. Coming back to those questions, for most of us, we operate on the agenda of energy. This huge energy supply that we are able to utilize in our works, in our things, and it gives a certain sense of satisfaction from the work done, from the constant usage of energy. And this just seems to bring people in now, doesn't it? This just creates a huge, vast array of people that just come in, and then we are able to do different things, different projects, and and anything actually in life. The frustrations comes from the fact that there might be something done which isn't enjoyable, which isn't sitting right within our gut. So the question for those people is, who really am I? Who am I? Because by knowing yourself, you will be able to do the work and do the exact things that we can enjoy and utilize this energy properly. Because sustained work can only be productive if it is enjoyable and if we're doing something without friction. We do not want friction in our lives. We want to have it go as smoothly as possible, but we also want to achieve something sometimes. So for people who really have this boundless energy, knowing yourself is the way to go, is the way to actually have and create this system and the people around us that come in and later on have it smoothed out. Well, that's most of the people. However, there are certain individuals that operate kind of outside of the group. Think of them as free electrons, right? Think of those people that just go in and impact and really live a long-lasting experience. Those people, of course, they do have the energy, but it's more like a burst. They come into the system, they just impact and influence and make the whole process just that much more potent. So how do we make sure that as students we know ourselves? If we're those people, that really feel like, yes, we're a part of the system, but we're mostly alone, and then we can just come in and impact others and really just live like a star that just comes in, impacts, shines, and then just withdraws, comes in, withdraws, comes in, withdraws. It's all about knowing how do we impact others. If you're this individual which is most of the time kind of alone, but then just comes in and impacts, the best question that you can ask yourself is, how do I impact people? What do I do to change people's mindset? What do I feel and how do I feel it, and how do those feelings impact others? It's about understanding the way we are able to shape others through our actions, through our words, and through our emotions. That is all well and dandy. However, there are also those people which really don't have those energies, and only when being in a group do they actually gain this energy from this environment and from these others who shape the way we are thinking, really. For those people, I believe it's more on a one-on-one basis. It's not, well, being a part of a group, it's more of being in a setting full of individuals. So we're working on a project, right? But I, as a person, am looking only at the one person and interacting with them. Then I'm interacting with that person, then with that person. It's not a whole system, it's more a system of the parts. For those people, I think one of the most important questions to ask themselves is, well, who is the other? If I'm interacting on a basis of one-on-one person and on an individual basis with every single person, because it's more of not being a generator for others. It's more of being like a person who just picks out those little things and those little nuances in a single individual. So asking yourself, who is the other? Trying to understand this other person and how do they work, and later on being able to understand how to guide them, how to guide the process, because it's more about understanding how the system works, how others work. And later on, using this energy to guide the process, to maybe put some valuable insight into others. Finally, this is, like the least amount of population, but it's experiencing. It is for those people who, they are a part of a group, but they are as well as separate. It's about experiencing everything and sampling different things going around us, and later on kind of giving it back, because we've taken this energy, we've worked it out, and later on giving it back. For those people, I think one of the most important things is time. It's time to understand how others work. Who really is different? Who is different? This is the question that can come about. Because, we're in a group, but there are so many different things, so many individuals, but who really is different from the others? Who really has something to grasp at and really, really understand, maybe internalize, and later on give back, because, we've come this full circle of understanding. When I was talking with my friends about those questions, it really did change their lives. In a way, I was really trying to understand how do I work in terms of environments that I find myself in. And by talking with my friends, by asking them those questions, I really started to pick out that the different individuals, yes, there are, but there are also archetypes. And within each archetype, those questions resonate deeply. There are certain questions that we don't really feel like they belong to us, but then there's this one singular question. For people who find themselves constantly within the groups of others, who am I? And how do people come to me? Who really am I, and what do I work on? For others, is walking from one place to the other, being this constant free electron, and then just going in and doing something. And how do I impact others? What do my actions do so that I am able to, influence? This is about influence. This is about knowing how much of our actions resonate with others. Conversely, there are those who try to understand how others work, how the process itself, the essence of it, really, really works. How do others think? What are those qualities, and how can I understand them the greatest, so that later I am able to, I've analyzed them, so I can guide them because there is something that I see within them that they themselves might not be aware of. So who is the other? Who is that one person that I am focusing my energy on? Lastly, who is different? For those people who feel like they're part of everything and yet separate. Those who sit and they just sample. Who is different? Who has that spark of something that, well, just makes it more exciting? The surprise. Who really is different? By asking yourself those 4 questions, I think one of them will really resonate within you. This is how we start this transformation of our minds and the conditioning. Well, by understanding the way we interact with others, we are able to live our life more fully because, well, we're asking the right questions and we're getting the right answers. So your job right now is to write down those questions. Look at them, feel, or respond to the gut, or use your intuition to really know which one resonates you with the best, and really get down to this and really understand this, because by this you will be able to operate much more cohesively within any sort of group. Cheers.